Art log number 8. So here we are. This is almost a little bit over a week later since my last art log, and since then I've made a decent amount of progress as far as my sketches. I don't know which direction I want to take them in yet, but I do plan to have lots more colors in my next sketches that I do, and I even tried to mess around with colors in the upcoming or the sketches I'm about to show. Now keep in mind, I did rush these, right? I didn't go over these and add colors like perfectly or anything. I literally just dragged the marker or the cursor over these and just added colors that I thought looked cool together. Because all in all, these are sketches, and I still submitted them to DeviantArt and everything like that. Like, they're just sketches, and I don't want to get too attached to trying things out. So here's what it looks like without the colors, obviously, but yeah. So I don't remember exactly what I was trying to do here, but I do remember trying to move a little bit more into the robotic side of things as far as my sketches go. A lot of people seem to be afraid of using like mech designs and stuff like that, and incorporating like robots and stuff. And honestly, when it comes to robots, it's really hard to come up with a design that's outside of what everything else has been done, especially if you're trying to do an android. I think robots are easy, but as far as androids, you're really limited on the kinds of shapes that you can come up with. So I'm gonna try to push that this week and see what I can come up with. You know, just take a break from the medieval style armors and move a little bit more into mech stuff. I don't want to go full like Transformer here, right? But like I do want to, you know, try doing some androids and stuff. So I'm going to be looking to like Fallout 4 for inspiration. Maybe some Pinterest posts. I think I can leave my Pinterest in the description. I might eventually. I'm not too sure about that yet. So sorry. Okay, so the main thing that I see that could have been worked on here is definitely the fact that my mouse is messing up again. Like in this area, I feel like this arm is way too big. It's really hard to see which one is in the front, right? Because sure, he could be leaning this way, but like his body isn't showing that. His body looks like he's looking straight, like, you know, straight at the camera, and his head is tilted to the side, but his arm looks like it's being leaned back, which is a very unrealistic pose. I'm guessing, like, if I try to do that right now, it just doesn't make sense. And then when I look at this, right, the arm is way bigger, probably almost double the size of this one. So that means that this one is being moved forward, and with that kind of posing, like, it looks really uncomfortable, right? That's the biggest thing that I want to avoid with my, you know, sketches, and I've been pointing them out for the longest, but it's just like by the time I get to that phase, I've been looking at the drawing for a long time, and it's hard for me to pick these things up until it comes down to me coloring them and trying to shade things in that I'm like, hey, this arm is way too big, this arm is way too small, the body isn't tilted. But these are things that I've also been noticing more and more, like in my sketches. So I've been trying to show a little bit more like turning. Like with this one, I tried to, like, right, oh man, this marker, I don't know why, like, my screen is just tripping right now. Let's just go into the other screen. All right, but anyways, yeah, so with this, I definitely need to work on arm proportions, and basically I just need to do some more gesture drawing. So that's enough for one. So I'm gonna move on to, and that was on August 31st. This is on August 30th. This is the second one I drew. So this is the one that I drew right after I did my last drawings. So again, you know, I tried to do the posture thing, make sure that the body is a little tilted, which worked almost, I think. I mean, like, I don't think the proportions look bad here. The only thing I'd say is like this spot right here looks kind of awkward because, I mean, I haven't really been able to find a drawing or anything, that's something that I can use as reference to see how that would look, like the underside of a plate, right? But I'm pretty sure that you would see the body, or at least the arm right here. So that's something that, you know, I definitely could have fixed. And then outside of that, we have, you know, the hand. I'm starting to move into little hands here and there. I just normally just sketch them out, like, you know, just, it's really hard for me to do this because, you know, yeah, I just do like some like some really quick hand, and in hopes that it looks right. And if it doesn't, I'm basically forced almost to do this because I don't study hands. I haven't done any hand drawings, and I see these people on YouTube, you know, 50 hands, 50 faces, 50 noses, 50 feet, 50 arms, 50 backs, 50 facial expressions. You know, I would do things like that, but it feels like it hinders me, because what I want to do is throw my ideas out there and, you know, try to perfect the way that I want to do things. But the downside to that is, like, I'm so inexperienced that I really don't know what it is that I want to do. So I'm trying to find a balance between that, you know, between, you know, doing things like this and actually taking the time to do gesture drawings. So yeah, yeah. All right, so this is where's September 1st? Okay, so here's September 1st. Now these drawings I'm pretty happy with, honestly. Most notably number 1. And here's a quick tip, you know, if you ever post your art online, make sure you put like a 1 or a 2, because like when people say, hey, I really like how this one looks on the robot looking one, like they both look a little robotic, right? Like it's gonna be hard for them to tell you which one they're talking about. Like, how would you describe something if you like, I don't know, like the colors on these little tubes, right? Because both of them have little tube things, right? So it'd be really hard to like explain it. But now people can comment, and if they wanted to give you critique, right, they could just say like, hey, number 1 could use so and so, and number 2 did this poorly and could be refined, right? And as I said before, I rushed over with the colors. Like, I was just, you know, filling things in. I tried to think about lights and darks when I did these, right? So, or not lights and darks, but hots and colds. So I didn't want there to be just orange hues everywhere, like all over here, and then it's just orange everywhere, and then it's just kind of flattened, I guess. So not flattened, but like bland almost. So I thought it'd be a good idea to just add some blues, some slight hues of blues, and then see if I could mix it with the brown, and, you know, just mix them throughout the drawing. So that's what I did. Now I don't think I did it as well on this side, because as you can see, like, there's a really strong contrast between this blue and this brown. I could have kind of hinted them more, like this one, like right here, you can see the blue and the brown, and they kind of fade into each other really nicely right there, in my opinion at least. But like I said, I'm really not the most experienced artist ever, you know, like, so I could be easily, you know, making mistakes as far as how I'm judging my own work. I could be biased, you know. These are hard things for me right now because I haven't really taken the time to study instead of just draw. So, God, that just made me feel so bad, dude. I need to study more. So yeah, and then I tried to put like something right here, but I forgot to put like a belt that connected to that would kind of make it make a little bit more sense. But overall, outside of the blue hues, you know, here and here that like seemed kind of forced, I think everything else was pretty good. I mean, like, these are obviously not colored in all the way right, but like, again, it's a sketch. I'm not, you know, not beating myself up over it yet. So that was September 1st that I drew that, and then September, let's see, I think I took like a 2-day gap. No, I didn't. Okay, here we go. So here's the other one. Like I said, I just rushed over it with random colors to see what colors would look cool together. And I took a little bit from Destiny as far as this with the shaders. You know, they sometimes add like random colors together that'd be of the same hue, and they would somehow look nice, you know. So I tried to see if I could do that, and it didn't come out too bad, but it didn't come out too good. So that's something I'm definitely going to take into consideration before, you know, testing colors out. I haven't really taken any courses on color theory yet, so I do plan on doing some more research on that due to me going for more colored sketches this upcoming week, right? So yeah, another thing is I could definitely work. I feel like the pose on this one was actually pretty solid. Like, I actually do. With this one, maybe it could have been changed a little bit. Like I said, like, outside of the circles, it would have been almost impossible for me to color, like, say like, oh, I'm talking about this one. So very important. to put these on there. Remember to keep doing that, Jeremy. But yeah, okay, so let's see. So that was, both of the previous ones I'd shown were on September 1st, which is kind of crazy. And then we jumped to September 4th, right? So this one is kind of 50-50 for me, right? Because I spent at least 2 hours trying to figure out what the hell I was doing with the legs. I noticed that a lot of the times, and I did benefit from it a lot, because I noticed that I draw, like, as you can see, the body is kind of tilted here, right? You can see the side of the torso, and you can tell that it's tilted. The only thing that's probably holding that back is how much of this arm is showing. It would probably be a little bit further behind the torso, depending on, you know, a lot of things, but for the most part, I think this could have been pushed back a little bit more. And I noticed that I was drawing the legs onto the torso as if the torso was faced frontwards, but in reality, the torso is facing to the left. So I tried to figure out, you know, like, how do I draw legs onto a tilted torso? Like, I've never really done that, because I never realized the problem until now. So that's kind of crazy. Like, I'm surprised it took me that long to figure this out. But yeah, and then I tried to, you know, and I don't think I did it too well, right? But obviously, you know, a lot of things can be changed here. The legs, the arm positions, maybe this arm was a little bit skinnier. It could have probably overlapped a little bit right here more. That's how I feel, at least, because this arm feels kind of like really skinny. And like, there could have been more curvature, right, in the lines. These lines are all really straight-ish, so it made the arm look a little flat. It didn't make it look like it was, you know, a 3D part of the body. So I have to always remember to have those like lines that show that, hey, this is actually on a round arm, not like a flat arm on a 2D surface. That's the best way I know how to explain this from my understanding, right? But things happen. I was really disappointed, but I did learn something that I didn't know that I was doing before. So definitely just not gonna forget that. Here's another one that I did. So this is the last one, actually. So this week, I didn't really draw that much, man. Like, it felt like I did, but I really didn't. And then I didn't draw yesterday, and I haven't drawn today yet. So these were really low. Like, I went back to my roots as far as like just simplified. This is what I call, like, this is my version of gesture drawing almost. Like, even though it's not, I didn't try to go too much into the details, right? I left everything like very simple shapes. Tried to, you know, include the curvature on the arm, and the curvature of the torso, and the curvature of this arm, and the curvature of the shoulders. But the main part I think I messed up is the neck, maybe the shoulders a little bit, and the top of the arm, maybe. But all in all, I think, you know, considering, and then the color, obviously, like, I only spent probably 2 minutes coloring these, so I didn't really, or not 2 minutes, maybe like 5. It felt like 2 minutes though, but yeah, I didn't really put too much effort into that. So yep, that's just my art log for this week. Hopefully I have more things to say about these. I'm really kind of disappointed with myself this week, honestly. Playing too much Destiny and League of Legends, to be honest. So next week will be better. I'm gonna try to go for at least double the amount of drawings that I had this week. So I hope you guys, or I hope you enjoyed and learned something maybe. I'm not too sure. I didn't really point too many mistakes out. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a good one, and later.